Environmental impact assessments, EIAs, are crucial in identifying potential environmental risks and promoting sustainable development. Building a better future starts with protecting our planet today. Environmental impact assessment, EIA, is a critical tool used to assess the potential impacts of any proposed construction project on the environment. It's a systematic process of identifying, predicting, evaluating, and mitigating potential environmental risks. By conducting an EIA study, we can identify potential environmental impacts and take measures to ensure sustainable development. Not only does this process help to protect our planet, but it also ensures that new developments are socially responsible. Let's make a commitment to sustainable construction practices and use EIA to build a better future for generations to come. This process ensures that construction projects are carried out in a manner that is environmentally sustainable and socially responsible. Here are some advantages of environmental impact assessment. Better decision-making. EIA studies provide a comprehensive analysis of the environmental impacts of a project, enabling better decision-making by project developers and authorities. Identifies risks and opportunities. EIA studies identify potential risks and opportunities associated with a project, providing a basis for risk management and project optimization. Stakeholder engagement. EIA studies involve consultation with stakeholders, including the public, NGOs, and relevant authorities, providing a platform for public participation in the decision-making process. Compliance with environmental regulations. EIA studies ensure that proposed projects comply with relevant environmental regulations and guidelines. Protection of biodiversity and ecosystems. EIA studies help protect biodiversity and ecosystems by identifying potential impacts and recommending measures to mitigate them. With advantages, we should ignore. Disadvantages of environmental impact assessment. Time-consuming. EIA studies can be time-consuming, and the process may delay project implementation. Expensive. EIA studies can be costly, especially for large and complex projects. Limited predictive capacity. EIA studies may have limited predictive capacity, as they rely on available data and assumptions, which may not be entirely accurate. Scope of the study. EIA studies may not cover all potential environmental impacts, as some impacts may only become apparent during the construction phase. Now let me share countries with the best EIA systems in the world. Several countries have implemented effective EIA systems to ensure the sustainable development of their respective countries. These countries include Norway. Norway has one of the best EIA systems in the world, as it requires mandatory EIA for all public and private projects that could have significant environmental impacts. Japan. Japan has a well-established EIA system, which is mandatory for all major projects. The Japanese EIA system is known for its effectiveness in identifying and mitigating potential environmental impacts. Canada. Canada has a comprehensive EIA system that is mandatory for all projects with potential environmental impacts. The Canadian EIA system involves public participation and stakeholder engagement in the decision-making process. Australia. The Australian EIA system is well developed and is mandatory for all projects that may have significant environmental impacts. The system involves public consultation and considers the social and economic impacts of a proposed project. United States. The United States has a well-established EIA system, which is mandatory for all federal projects. The system involves public consultation and requires the consideration of environmental, social, and economic factors. Now, as a proud Pakistani, I am delighted to share that Pakistan has made significant strides in EIA system. Pakistan's EIA system for construction was implemented in 1994 through the Pakistan Environmental Protection Act, PEPA. The law requires mandatory EIA for all proposed development projects, including construction, industrial, and mining projects, that may have significant adverse environmental impacts. The EIA process in Pakistan involves the identification and evaluation of potential environmental impacts, development of mitigation measures, and public consultation. The EIA report is submitted to the Pakistan Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, for review, and approval is granted by the relevant authorities after the EPA's clearance. The PEPA has undergone various amendments over the years to improve the effectiveness of the EIA process. In 2014, the Pakistan Environmental Protection Agency review of E and EIA regulations were introduced to provide a framework for the review and approval of initial environmental examination, and EIA reports. The regulations aim to ensure that the EIA process is transparent, accountable, and environmentally sustainable. Despite the legal framework for EIA, there have been concerns regarding the effectiveness of the EIA process in Pakistan. Some of these concerns include the lack of expertise and capacity among EIA consultants, limited public consultation, and inadequate enforcement of the EIA requirements. These challenges have led to instances of non-compliance with EIA regulations, resulting in adverse environmental impacts. Overall environmental impact assessment is an essential tool for ensuring the sustainable development of construction projects. It provides a framework for identifying and mitigating potential adverse environmental impacts, enabling better decision-making and stakeholder engagement. Countries such as Norway, Japan, Canada, Australia, and the United States have implemented effective EIA systems that prioritize environmental protection and sustainable development. Pakistan's EIA system, implemented through the Pakistan Environmental Protection Act, has undergone various amendments to improve its effectiveness. However, there are still concerns regarding the capacity of EIA consultants, public consultation, and enforcement of the regulations. Addressing these challenges can improve the effectiveness of the EIA process and ensure the sustainable development of construction projects in Pakistan. To address the challenges facing the EIA process in Pakistan, various measures have been proposed. One of the proposed solutions is to increase the capacity of EIA consultants through training and certification programs. This will ensure that EIA consultants possess the necessary skills and knowledge to conduct thorough assessments and develop effective mitigation measures. Another solution is to increase public participation and stakeholder engagement in the EIA process. This can be achieved through the provision of accessible and transparent information on proposed projects, public consultations, and public hearings. The involvement of stakeholders can provide valuable feedback and insights into the potential environmental impacts of a project, leading to better decision-making and more effective mitigation measures. In addition, strengthening the enforcement of EIA regulations can also improve the effectiveness of the EIA process in Pakistan. This can be achieved through the provision of clear penalties for non-compliance and the establishment of an effective monitoring and evaluation system. Finally, there is a need to leverage technological advancements to improve the EIA process in Pakistan. The use of advanced analytical tools and simulation models can provide more accurate and comprehensive assessments of potential environmental impacts. Furthermore, the use of digital platforms can improve the accessibility and transparency of information on proposed projects, enabling effective public participation and stakeholder engagement. In conclusion, the EIA process is critical for ensuring the sustainable development of construction projects. Countries such as Norway, Japan, Canada, Australia, and the United States have implemented effective EIA systems that prioritize environmental protection and sustainable development. While Pakistan has a legal framework for EIA, there are still challenges facing the EIA process. Addressing these challenges through increased capacity building, public participation, enforcement of regulations, and the use of technology can improve the effectiveness of the EIA process in Pakistan and ensure the sustainable development of construction projects. Protecting our planet starts with understanding the impact of our actions. Let's work together to save the climate and save the Earth.